ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the 7th Esports World Championship for League of Legends. My name is Reed Rapid Melton. Of course, joining me tonight, Ms. Kennard, what do you have to say about tonight's games? It's been an incredible series.
It's been. We are now having our second best of 3 with actual 3 games. We've only seen most of these games go to 2 matches, so this is a bit of excitement for the crowd as well.
Yeah, if you got to get your money's worth, 3 games in both our 3rd and 4th game setting. And man, here we go. We got to have a final game. What better way to kick things off than with picks and bans? So really excited to get this game started. China versus Korea. And here we go, coming into picks and bans for game number 3.
And the
Game
Rise
3
ban.
underway. No questions about the Rise ban. You're going to see it immediately followed up by a Gangplank ban. Exactly the same situation, but you can't let Tom Kench get through this time around. Dr. Mundo, of course, actually kind of interesting. Very strong pick, but maybe not specifically a strong pick. And of course, a couple of picks to watch out for. Lee Sin and Bard, still big power picks. Game number 3. The winner of this match. Whoa! Fiora, okay. I haven't seen that at all this series. Maybe telegraphing a strategy that we haven't seen really come out here. And for NRF, he might be saying, okay, well, I need to counter out Shen. Fiora, a great way to do that. What is the last ban here for China? And by banning Fiora, it forces Vici Academy to either give away Bard or Lee Sin. Neither of which really want to be giveaway. Now, they might give away, they might ban the Bard and then give away the Lee Sin, but instead they ban the Shen, and that does mean that there are a lot of very powerful picks left open. So, for Lonely, you take the Bard and give it to Colorless and allow him to carry. Or, possibly, you go ahead and take the Lee Sin and then maybe bait it out. Some big fans in the crowd there as we head on through the first pick. 30 seconds to think through. What are your thoughts?
I don't think they're going to first pick Lee Sin. Like you said before, if you can pick Rek'Sai against Lee Sin becomes a bit weaker in the jungle. So, yes,
you
definitely
can always
the
pick
Bard.
that Bard. Somewhere a Crepo out here is spiritually watching this and being able to sense this out there. And of course, maybe the spiritual successor of Ever's support key, a very strong Korean Bard player in and of himself. In fact, in this very arena where everybody, the world was introduced to how strong a champion Bard can be. Vici Gaming, 2 picks coming their way. What are they going to be?
2 OP picks, most probably. Alistar?
Yeah, Alistar Tristana, a pretty classic pick to give here. China wouldn't be giving away too much off of that. However, you don't really want to pick Alistar into this specifically, and instead of going for that standard combo, they're just going to give Teacher a Thresh.
And they're giving Avenger Kalista. Real threat that I've been wanting to see.
I was trying to keep an eye on the players here over the course of in between games, and I actually believe that I'm not sure if it's AD carry or jungler. I think it is actually Chieftain who was walking around on crutches. I'm not sure. Somebody found him and beat him up, but in between these games, he is a little bit the worse for wear. But in game, he's actually slaughtering nerds right and left. So it's exciting to see some really big sources of strength from him on Lee Sin in game 2. Here in game 3, is he going to be forced back on this Elise? Now, Elise still a very strong champion, but I feel like his Lee Sin was just a force to be reckoned with, and even if you do get it countered by a Rek'Sai, there's some stuff he can do with that I have not seen in a very long time. Okay, so this is actually pretty cool. What you do is you pick half of the combo because you don't have to worry about China picking Alistar, and this does force the jungle and mid lane pick a little bit later on in the draft. So for China right now, they might have gone ahead and picked up their jungle, because keep in mind, China want to save their mid lane pick to last. So what this does is it forces China to draft their jungler, either telegraphing that they're going to go for the Rek'Sai, which you should see here, but also preventing China from picking Lee Sin as well.
But why Malphite? Why now?
So
The
for
final.
Lonely, he's tried carry champions top lane, but what primarily works for him is playing tanks. So you saw a good Shen game and now a good Malphite game coming up here. But at the same time, we've seen NRF be very, very devastating on Relia, not in the 1v1, but in the top lane assassin versus Bob's AD carry.
And Tristana is not really the hardest AD carry to kill. She has the jump and the rocket shot, but it really has a 10-second cooldown on that jump. Now, the question is, will they pick Lee Sin into Rek'Sai?
No, definitely not going to do that. Otherwise, you just get China's way too good at jungle invades to do that. Just walk in and you're going to have a bad time. So, at the same time, this Elise pick will allow some aggressive early options for Chieftain, especially if he clears one side of his jungle and goes for an early level 3 gank on one side that he's not being expected at. Should see the victor pick here for Fire Rain, as his Varus was not effective in game 1. Way too easily punished by that same Rek'Sai and Aurelia picks. So I should see this be the final lineup. Oh, is he gonna do it? He does! Chieftain locking in the Lee Sin. Knows it's gonna be a little bit rough versus that Rek'Sai. I was talking about how China was so scary to jungle invades. That's the pressure we are about to see. Even last pick, what's it gonna be? Twisted Fate, super good when your lanes have lockdown as well. We've seen a tendency to pick up the Kassadin as well, but switching between that and Alessandra, we haven't seen him play that at all this series.
That is just caster bait. That is definitely caster bait.
I don't know about that.
No, but the Victor damage output last game was immense. It was not as high as the Lucian. Lucian had the most damage in the game, but Victor's second, and it was devastating in team fights, especially that stun.
I'm a little bit worried that Tristana might take a little bit too long to ramp up, and we might see a very strong performance by Avenger, but Teacher locking in a Kassadin for even
against a Victor.
I think the idea is with the Shen ban and the Lulu ban, that makes Bop a lot more vulnerable. So you go for more assassins to kill him off now that he doesn't have that Tahm Kench, and actually kind of interesting to see not...
He was not even banned.
No, he was not. So, well, the reason that you don't see Tahm Kench here is because of the Bard bait. Colorless is super good on Bards. We're like, hey, we're going to give you your best champion. Why don't you go ahead and pick Bard? Well, that kind of clouded their mind and said, well, we don't want to go for Tahm Kench this time around. Maybe it's specific to their Game 2 team composition. And as good a champion as Tahm Kench is, let's just be real, Colorless's Bard is ridiculous. But that's going to do it for champion picks and bans here for our final game of IESF 2015, the Set3 Esports World Championship. We're about to decide the victors. So let's go ahead and get into game.
And we are in.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the final game. Game number 3 in our best of 3 grand finals here for League of Legends at IESF Korea. Tying the series at 1-1. Coming in here to game 3, starting off on the blue side versus China's Vichy Gaming Academy. They train with some of the best players and teams in China. Now they are here to represent their country, the International Esports Federation World Championship.
Korea expects the China basic play here to get the invade, but they're just camping it out.
That's true, and a really good reaction here. I think trying to play against China's attempt at being unpredictable, they're saying safe start, and then thinking, hey, maybe on the last game they're going to switch it up. Fortunately for China, they do decide to stay with a safe start to the game instead of going for their aggressive invades. Otherwise, that could have been a cool way to catch them out there by fog.
A lot of pinging going around.
What better way to start off the game? Minions spawning, heading into the lane, and you know who's a little bit late to lane? That Bard. He's going to be taking a few extra seconds. Colorless coming up just to make sure that They're there in time to start off with the Krugs. So you're going to see Krugs done by Bokenbop and Colorless for Korea. Will Destron actually just smite this Gromp and then walk to blue? No, it looks like he's actually going to be the recipient of a leash, which will actually set Avenger and Teacher behind kind of significantly, as Bokenbop and Colorless will be able, or Avenger and Teacher behind Bokenbop and Colorless. They're going to come to lane with some extra experience and be there right in time to continue to push this wave.
I think top lane will be quite a boring lane for the first 10 minutes until they get 6 and again make all the plays with that Malphite ulti.
Well, in game 1, Lonely really relied on Chieftain to snowball that out. So as long as this lane match or the jungle matchup isn't too counterlicious, okay, already a ridiculous stun. Colorless is super good. I'm not even going to say that again. I'm just going to let you guys watch. Make sure to get a cushion on the floor in front of you so that when your jaw hits it, you're ready. Don't say I didn't warn you. Lonely though, oh my gosh.
Wow.
Lonely level 2 and NRF able to close that distance so strong.
That's
on
some
that
proper
Aurelia.
damage coming from level 1.
Well, you really see the effectiveness of that corruption potion. Able to get that extra burn, the extra damage, and even though it doesn't give you any stats, damage is damage. Putting it down on Lonely.
Some pretty standard starts in jungle here. Rek'Sai clearing the full top. Might be seeing him going top right after. As you said, they like focusing top. They like to get it snowballing because then you can leave them on their island to do what they want.
Right, and the name of the game here for Korea is Roam. The Bard Roam. The Lee Sin ganks early game are what has helped Korea so many times this tournament. And even after losing their one game to Romania over the course of the group stages, what has really impressed me, well, for China is their ability to come back from deficits and keep themselves in the game, which is something that they struggled with. But for Korea is their ability to not only have very strong individual talent, but to play that talent as a team. For Chieftain specifically, he's been incredibly effective at snowballing lane advantages, but he's actually already being punished by Destron, knowing he wins out jungle 1v1 and just walking into the enemy jungle.
Well, at least he's going to the blue buff just getting scuttled. If Rek'Sai shows himself on that map right now, he's going to get a free blue buff. Oh no, he's just following up mid lane, maybe going for the Kassadin gang.
Well, the blue buff actually, down, so unable to.
Blue buff on the red side.
Oh, that's true. So,
with the jungler in the top lane.
Gotta keep an eye on that. I think if you watch the way that Chieftain plays, always looking to snowball lanes, go for those ganks. Ganking blue buff, yeah, sure, that's cool, but we're about to see a very interesting situation here for Chieftain. Oh, dive up on the top lane, tunnel up on the top lane, forcing the flash Lonely.
Was that necessary though, the flash that early? I think he would have been able to run out of that. Damage early is not there yet.
Teacher gonna land that grab onto Colorless, who tunnels himself away. Beautiful usage of that skill. It does take a lot of damage though. So we will have to use some of those biscuits.
And the blue buff going to Lee Sin maybe.
You're gonna pull it back. The Wolf Spirit, he actually did smite that to make sure that it would scout out while he's trying to take this blue. Now, to be fair, Destron is in the area. Will he get there in time for it? I think Chieftain's gonna be able to grab this one. Rek'Sai actually did pull the Gromp over. But yeah, that's blue buff to Lee Sin.
Now we're gonna Lee Sin moving bot lane, trying to avoid the Kalista.
Oh, there's the flash, the play. Colorless gets pulled out of his own tunnel. He's gonna go ahead and go backwards, baiting it in there. Colorless dead. Teacher almost dead there as well. Last auto attack there. Chieftain able to take him down. Bokenbop very, very strong. A lot of damage there. Coming in, Fire Rain roaming down. The flash away. There's the rocket jump in. Bokenbop gets one. He's gonna look for a second. Flashing back away. There's a reset. Even will die there. A double kill for Fire Rain. And a 4-for-2 exchange for Korea.
Last game we talked about Bokenbop just going in and thinking he's melee. He's still doing that, but he's doing it well.
Yeah, that time around, totally okay to go in there. Even if he knew he was gonna die already, he knew his team had more than enough follow-up there. Off to a very strong start, and this is really going to start not only Fire Rain going. Last time we saw Lonely Snowball. This time the Snowball is going to hit on the bottom side of the map.
Well, Victor already has 2 kills, so I believe he's going to start roaming even harder. Might even pay a visit to top lane.
And you got to take a look at this jungle and AD carry, 4 out of 4 kill participation, but look at those gold counts that our Korean observers are pointing out there. 2K gold on both Victor and Lee Sin. Just look at those items that are going to come out there. We're looking for a warrior enchant to come out here, and of course a bunch of money spent there by Victor upgrading his hex core.
Rek'Sai doing what Rek'Sai does against Lee Sin, trying to steal his jungle.
But he's done that very consistently. This is the second Gromp he's going to steal, or at least thinking about that. Ping's saying, hey, better to get out of there. Discretion, the better part of valor, even without Quinn.
Well, he's not really a counter anymore since Lee Sin is so far ahead. This is how you play Lee Sin against the Rek'Sai.
Yeah, exactly. You try, even if you wind up giving up your jungle, just go to the lane. That's where the power is at. And even if Destron had been, effective in his, I could say a counter gank bottom lane, still the roam from Fire Rain was right on time to get down there and turn that gank situation around. This is just incredibly well played here, and Fire Rain is going to get a blue buff. That wave clear off of the Hex Core upgrade, absolutely insane with blue buff. Now, of course, once again, gives you extra ability power here in the preseason pack. So,
well, we see NRF out farming Malphite slightly. Lonely is a tank, we know that, but don't get Aurelia farmed. Once she jumps in, we've seen him on Aurelia. We should be scared, or at least Korea should be scared.
So Lonely, before he changed his title, it actually used to be known as Unfair, I think, before he renamed that. So wanting to play champions that may make things unfair. When it comes to hard engages, it doesn't get more unfair than Malphite. Just going to slam through your entire team, hit the back line with a knockup. If he's able to hit that, so big question mark to talk about maybe during this. Bardol tempering the fate of Avenger. Immediate stun there, actually not able to land there. So much damage down, Bob in for the 5th kill for Korea.
Again, letting them have Lee Sin.
Forget that Lee Sin, it's the Bard, man. Oh my gosh.
Okay, yes.
Of course, you don't want to forget Lee Sin. Chieftain, 5 out of 5 kill participation. Colorless there. Bardol, sure he missed the stun with it. Okay, we're just going to overlook that. Chieftain coming in to follow up for, the kill, but oh my goodness.
After all these games, I believe the worst thing would be, some damage.
Tunnel through the wall there, Colorless the one, taking up a couple of turret shots there. Super low there, but they're going for it. Fire Rain will dive, a Chieftain on the cleanup, a shutdown, but the kills continuing to come Korea's way. Colorless almost out there, he took 3 turret shots in a row. Fire Rain still did die, but a 2-for-1, hey, it didn't work out.
Such a great trade. At this stage in the game, yes. You're getting your Victor overly fed, your Lee Sin overly fed.
Lonely though, still in a little bit of a rough spot. If he's going to go for that fight, he should have ulted earlier. Saves his ult, stays alive, but is forced to recall back to base.
He's waiting for Lee Sin to join him here.
Lonely definitely living up to his name this game. He is all alone up on the top side. He does have teleport, and he'll be able to use that to get back in the lane. And that might actually... Okay, so instead of going back to the base and teleporting in there to help out Chieftain, he's going to stay low, staying up with that corruption potion, and wait. Okay, actually, at least not going to go up there. Thought that would have been a good gank opportunity, but instead it's actually Chieftain that's going to go back to base to finish his warrior enchant.
Chieftain is getting way too strong at this stage. I mean, at 10 minutes, having built already all that, he's going to make Catherine cry.
Bottom lane, there's the gank coming in. Bob jumping backwards. He's got Colorless there in there with the slows on the teacher. Colorless, man, he's got those auto attacks. Tempered Fate, oh, and the perfect lantern to counter that all out.
He's just showing us why he picked Thresh. I'm waiting for one of those hooks.
Teacher, like you said earlier, is the main champion that he's played this tournament has been Alistar in there with the Tristana combo, just as a team fight kind of a team composition pick. But his main 2 champions are Bard and Thresh. Stun against the wall there. Teacher forced to be pulled back in, thrown actually back in as well. And there's the Flash Force out there. Double teleports onto the bottom lane. It's about to get busy. Chieftain able to come in there with 1 kill. Very, very low. Destron able to take him out. But here comes VG Gaming Academy. Got a lot of members here. Fire Rain able to turn that one around. Look at the gravity. gravity field. It's Korea coming out with their 10th kill. Double kill for Malphite. Korea's got some teleports of their own.
Did you see that Victor damage? As soon as he blew that ult, okay, they were kind of melting already, but that just put the cherry on top.
Also the gravity field for a double stun there in there as well. Colorless layering another cosmic binding. Oh my goodness, Korea just fighting their hearts out. They lost game number 1, and in the face of what could have been a morale breaker, powered through game number 2 off of a Lee Sin pick. And Chieftain not disappointing here either. 9 out of 10 kill participation. Of course, Korea just grouping together as a team. Instantly, as soon as that engage happened, as soon as Colorless, all it took was a cosmic binding on the support against the wall. Instantly, 2 teleports from Vici Gaming. A teleport coming in from Korea. Second teleport even there as well. Bokenbop actually with a lot of damage. I'm not sure if he could have turned that into a kill, but very carefully must you play this mid lane.
I think he learned his lesson from last fight. He jumped in again, died fast. Maybe he's trying the ranged tactic for now.
Even now playing actually pretty scared with the Rift Walk backwards, and Korea willing to push a little bit of their advantages to try to limit the ward coverage and put out some coverage of their own around Dragon.
Looks like they're going to siege mid. Yes, with that Tristana chunking towers.
Tower is pretty free. Second turret of the game goes to Korea, 2-0. In their turret score. Colorless walking forward doesn't even care. He knows he's got the backup. Hashtag Bard things Bard does. Walking forward without his team, with his team. Doesn't matter. He is in there. And of course on this Dragon, capitalizing on all the ward coverage that Korea was able to achieve. Dragon down to half health and not contested at all by China.
This is unlike China, but they are far behind at this stage. I think this has to be the biggest upset for China, because this game is the nation China's most important game. As I've said before, if China loses this, Serbia takes the World Cup, or the World Championship Cup, yes. And if they win this, this will mean a win for them as the world champions of all the games, all the points calculated. Yeah. They really need this.
China wins. If Korea wins, then Serbia wins. You guys can keep up with that, of course, based on the point system. We'll explain that a little bit more later on, but let's just say China wants to win this game to take home the World Championship.
As a nation, definitely.
Absolutely. Of course, losing these early objectives, not quite a strong start, as strong a start as we saw from China in game 1. So let's take a look at kind of the macro picture here. What's working well for Korea? Well, the mid lane roam, Fire Rain on top of that. Chieftain, as good as ever on that Lee Sin. We talked about his high kill participation. And Lonely, even though he has been lonely, his teleport wanted to make some friends, and he has done that impeccably. Able to get down in the bottom lane exactly when he was needed. The Bard play, incredible from Colorless, tempering fates all across the map. He too has 9 out of 10 kill participation, and they're all assists, allowing his team to continue to get stronger. And while Bokenbop has had some melee range experiences, it's always led to his team following up for more kills.
Are we going to see Colorless and Chieftain in the future, in the Pro League? I believe, I see them there. Do you?
Well, I'm not sure exactly what the age range of this Korean squad is. I know there's, I think, one 16-year-old player playing for them. And that is 16 in Korean years. Koreans start a year early.
So that's 15.
But I mean, it depends on how you judge things as far as age goes. But either way, a very young Korean roster, that's all we're trying to say. So plenty of time to develop that talent into something that you could maybe one day see in the pro leagues. And of course, for this Chinese roster of Vici Gaming Academy, they're already experienced playing with some very highly competitive situations. So got to keep an eye on what's going on the map here. Got roams towards the top lane on Bard, ushering NRF away from this turret, and really going to give this to Korea for free. Of course, free turrets in the bottom lane being taken as well. So nice to see Korea capitalizing on that for their first turret kill of the game.
But they're going to keep pushing. They might get this inner tower. As you mentioned, it's easy to take inner towers. They don't have any resistance, only health.
Well, they do have an enemy champion to deal with there. NRF will get only a slow, not a stun there. Oh my, okay, that kick actually pretty good there. And nice lockdown onto even there with the tempered fate. And now instead of going in, he's forced to disengage. Teleport coming in from Lonely. And this siege of the turret will be incredibly strong for Korea. They do have unstoppable force. They've got Victor's Chaos Storm. A ton of damage to put down. Korea, 1, 2, 3, 4 turrets in 16 minutes.
They can rotate Baron. No, Rift Herald.
That's true, and that's something to talk about. It feels like Baron should be up. Only 17 minutes into the game. Rift Herald a possibility, but a much better option to just head back to base, buy up your items, and continue to just creep further and further in this advantage. Just look at the gold count. We are narrowing our way up towards that 5,000 gold lead. Coming up here in, I guess, not too long.
They are sieging so hard. I would expect them to really go for Rift Herald in this, because those extra help from the minions. But let's see, Dragon up in 2 minutes. They will be pushing our top very soon for this.
Now, Lonely doesn't have teleport after that gank, and NRF does, so that is a discrepancy that China can use to their advantage. And we've seen China use teleports very, very well, not only just in this series, but even earlier on, as soon as we had that crazy team fight that was 4 for 2 in Korea's favor bottom lane. The biggest thing that impressed me was China instantly double teleport. So on top of that timing, that's something that NRF can use that Lonely and Fire Rain can't. So 2 TPs versus 0. Vici Gaming Academy should know how to press that advantage and use their extra map mobility to come back in the game.
Bob just overextending a tiny bit. Kalista, no, they're not pursuing it. They were moving top lane, but they are again. Let's
a little
see,
bit
Dragon in 1
indecisive
minute.
here. Kick back there. Destron in a lot of trouble. Fire Rain takes him down.
Yet again, Rek'Sai getting countered in the jungle. Over and over again. He's just getting fought because he thinks he's Rek'Sai versus Lee Sin normal.
I mean, he's got the counter matchup, right? We talked about that earlier and how effective it was, and effective also this push coming in from Korea. Damage down from that Tristana. Teleports on the turret. No, it's going to get canceled. The turret dead. The Tempered Fate will come in, forced to flash out from Avenger. He's able to, speaking of Fate, use that Fate's call to save his support, but aggressive plays all over from Korea, and every single one of them pays off.
Korea rotating downwards to Dragon. Most likely. But Aurelia going top without teleport, but she has to push out that wave. This means they will not contest this Dragon coming up.
We talked about the 2 teleport advantage. Now it's only 1 TP from Even. He is in the mid lane in range of this Dragon Chieftain, starting it up. And Vici Gaming Academy kind of questioning every move that they make. They don't know whether or not they need Aurelia down with the team, so they send her split pushing and she can't teleport to join. Even does have teleport, could have TP'd in after split pushing bottom lane, but he was already mid and didn't have anywhere to teleport to. And that's another Dragon here for Korea, only the second one, not incredibly important. And of course for China, they didn't have NRF to join the fight, but they will have him to take down that outer turret up top.
Tristana just split pushing. Just Tristana things. They seem to want to push mid, but I think China is so far on the back foot right now. They are just waiting for Korea to make a mistake, but we've seen Korea. Do they make mistakes? Huge ones, they can lose games.
I was going to say, yes, they actually do make a lot of mistakes. Earlier, of course, we're going to keep bringing up Romania as an example, but even just in game number 1, the other game that they've lost in this IESF tournament, I think the biggest hallmark of that defeat was a lack of carry from the carries. But this time around, Fire Rain has shown not only that he can kill champions in his own lane, but that he has impeccable roam timing to help out his team exactly when they need it. And teleports, both of them coming up for Korea again, will allow them to do just that even more quickly.
Cassidy not having the impact that I thought. I was a bit skeptical about the pick against the Victor, but
Well, the idea was in picking bans after game 2 is to say, hey, we're going to make Bokenbop a whole lot more vulnerable, taking away the protection support, and then play assassins into it and just kill him for being as aggressive as he was in game.
But they should have known with Bard. He's the protection support.
Well, the other thing is, I think the protection support probably looks like Lulu or Tom Kench, both of which were prevented. The big thing to see about this game is that it's not even though maybe they want to focus Bokenbop and take him out, Bard and Lee Sin, you knew those picks were going to be strong yesterday, and you just let them through as power picks for Korea, taking down their 6th and final outer turret, just using both of those picks specifically incredibly well.
We have all the TPs up right now, so no team has that advantage at the moment, but Korea has just been using it way better. Let's see if Bard can get a stun off.
Tunneling in. There's a flash forced out again. Colorless is ult, like you hit the R button and somebody loses their flash. Incredibly well played.
Is this a Baron? Nope, just a base.
Yep, and we need to make sure to scan every place for those wards. Clearing out the Baron area, at least itself. Now Korea in control of that part of the map. Chieftain looks to go in there, damage onto Teacher, and just calculating this over and over again. Not really looking to commit for kills, but saying, hey, we can ult for a flash. We can follow up with Lee Sin pressure in the mid lane for an ultimate used there by Avenger defensively. And now rotating through the bottom jungle for a blue buff. I gotta give that to Fire Rain. Different builds here for Fire Rain with the Lich Bane, by the way. Just looking for that upfront first. Yeah, instead of Death Cap, which is the usual second item when he goes.
Yes, he went his last game as well, but he's been able to get to very close range, so I can understand his thought process here. Well, the whole team has been playing melee, so you gotta give that to them.
Okay, so a couple of ideas here for the Chinese team. They do have an Aurelia that is actually pretty strong. You can see building more aggressively into a Starax gauge instead of any armor aside from that cloth armor. So instead of seeing a Randuin's or another defensive item like a Spirit Visage, just going for more damage. And I guess it's a good play for NRF because it will allow him to possibly like one-shot Colorless if he overextends himself. Put a lot of pressure on Fire Rain too. But I think the big pressure is going to be on now the VC Academy AD and AP carries, even, like you said, less effective than you expected. Effective than expected. And Avenger, Kalista not with a strong performance this tournament, or at least this grand finals. Game 1 didn't work out for Bokenbop. Game 3 rather, not really working out for Avenger. She's got some decent items.
She has a lot of damage output, but against a team with all in and destroying with one shot, she's not going to make it through. We are seeing some pressure in the mid lane, but both teams playing it fairly safe, probably waiting for the movement speed buff from the next dragon.
Right, dragon number 3 is going to be very strong for Korea. And so recalling back to base, maybe something they want to look to do, but instead of recalling, they're just going to go ahead, push out as far as they can, and then make a rotation for one objective or another. This time around, it's red buff, and they are going to put that on Bokenbop. He is so strong. 2.5 items completed, and even though he's forced to jump backwards, how did that binding land? Okay, another Fate's Call used by Avenger, consistently forced to use them to save it. Oh, Avenger this time, he's gonna get caught. There's a perfect Cosmic Binding against the wall, binds him even though he goes all the way over, taking that Dark Passage, and has Chieftain overextended, has Bokenbop overextended. Bokenbop in a little bit of a rough spot, gets followed there by the Q. So close to death, but Bokenbop survives. Destron not so lucky. Chieftain there to take him out, and Korea find a 2-for-0 exchange. Going in there onto Avenger, lonely hitting the go button. Bokenbop so close to death, and now he's getting kills. What is going on here?
This is amazing. Bokenbop just getting caught out so easily, but escaping.
It's so like he
close.
Forgot that he didn't have the Shen and Tom Kench from last game. He's like, all right, guys, save me. Oh, wait, I don't have anything. Flash, Summoner Heal, Rocket Jump, all of it used, just barely survive. able to make them pay even. He was going to try to make the big play, but Lonely on a killing spree.
We spoke about the Chinese tilt. Once they are behind, they struggle to climb back in. But Korea has just shown that they can play from behind, they can play from ahead, like most teams. But this is the one edge they have over China right now.
Wow, what a position to find yourselves in as China winning game 1, having maybe the confidence shaken a little bit in game 2. And even though their draft phase had some very calculated changes to it, game 3, you still look at the team comp and Chieftain, oh my gosh, that blade surge. NRF's still in a lot of trouble there. So much damage. Bulk and Bop in there with the 4th kill of the game. Wow, okay, so Korea is starting to snowball a little bit out of control. China without answers for a lot of it. NRF way too overextended there, and now Korea looking to push forward. Could be their first base turn of the game. Oh my gosh, Chieftain going in, safeguarding out. So much damage. Forcing even back to base. Base turret down. Inhibitor rather. Mini Nexus. Inhibitor will fall. Korea crushes that out. 16-5 the current score. Korea might not be done yet ever, or even rather jumping in. There's a Venture dead. Boken Bob jumping all over everywhere. It's a double kill. Nexus turrets under fire. Korea poised to take the championship for League of Legends. 1-1 tie, but Chieftain just going for it. He's looking for some style points while the rest of Korea, champions of their Net Cafe League, representing their country. League of Legends still strong in Korea. They will take down the Nexus, and Korea are your League of Legends world champions. Incredibly strong play there, able to come back from game 1 loss. Bard, Lee Sin, incredible power picks. I have no more words for how strong Korea is.
Why did they let this through? Why did they allow him to get Lee Sin and Bard? It's just, they should have thought about this. This is a huge mistake.
Yeah, lots of mistakes on both sides, but ultimately a lot of talent here. Korea very strong, and congratulations to them for picking up their win here in the grand finals. What a game. Let's go ahead and talk about some of these match results. You can see the Chinese team there on your screen there. Nothing to be ashamed of here. A semifinal finish in both StarCraft and League of Legends. But with that Korean win, I believe Serbia will actually be your champions. Of course, let's go ahead and check things out there. In the 3rd place match earlier today, we saw Serbia take a 2-1 win over Switzerland. And in 3 out of 3 game fashion, the finals did not disappoint. Korea with a very narrow 2-1 win over China to secure themselves 1st place in League of Legends. And now the final results for League of Legends. Korea in 1st place, China in 2nd, and Serbia are your 3rd place League of Legends team for the 7th Esports World Championship here in Seoul, South Korea at IESF. What a day it's been for League of Legends. And now, the final breakdown on points. You can see the ranking distribution up above, but all we care about is what's below. Serbia winning 1st place at IESF. Korea in 2nd with 132 points, and China in 3rd with 113. What a points distribution. What a time to be at IESF. Serbia winning their 1st International Esports Championship ever.
It's been amazing. It's been amazing. They've had strong showings in all the games, and now they are the world champions.
Absolutely incredible, and what a time to be here at IESF. If you've been here, you've witnessed IESF history, and it's been incredible to be a part of. So we do want to thank everyone for coming out here and witnessing this IESF history, and of course, if you've been watching at home, thank you so much for being a part of this. We're going to see the Korean team come out here up on stage, and of course, immediately following this, we will end the broadcast and have an ending ceremony here up on stage, so do want to make sure to mention that. Let's go ahead and close things out for League of Legends coverage. Thank you so much for watching the League of Legends coverage here at the 7th Esports World Championship. Stick around, we'll have the closing ceremony coming up in a minute.